This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing better than I thought I'd be doing because I woke up. The Heat have the 10th best record in the NBA. They're tied for the number 6 playoff seed. They still have a chance to go for number 5. Even in the midst of all that seems to be going sideways, the sky's still not falling. And you know why, Big O? Because the Nets lose to Orlando. Because the Knicks lose to Orlando. Because we saw Dallas just lose 2 in a row to Charlotte. In the NBA misery index, the Heat have plenty of company. This is a very strange year. There's about 4 or 5 teams that are happy. Everyone else is miserable.
Right, exactly. And there's no light at the end of the tunnel, my brother. Whether they play in a play-in game or they're the number 6 seed, they have no future in the playoffs. Not the way they're playing. They have shown us over and over and over again every single night that they're not dedicated to playing the way they need to play every night. They know they're not talented enough, so they have to be overachievers, and they're not willing to overachieve every single night. And that's a problem. And to me, that in the end kind of you tell me who you are all season long. Look where you're at. You're 40 and 35. This is who you are. You're a middling team, and there isn't really much of a future for you because the way you're playing tells me you cannot hang with the teams at the top of the conference at this point in time. So it's almost like we're trying to move the line every single time, and they keep disappointing us.
The line keeps getting moved for them. I mean, I agree. Coming off that Nets loss on Saturday, I'm like, it can't get much lower than this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, the Nets lost to Orlando and they're tied again. So it keeps opening up. Look, Orlando, if the Heat finish 4-3 and the Nets finish 3-4, the Heat get number 6. I'm going to give you an insane scenario, okay? Right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 2 games behind the Philadelphia 76ers, who are struggling for number 3. If the Heat get to this number 6 and play Cleveland in the first round, they could beat Cleveland. They then would play the winner of Philadelphia.
They could easily lose to Cleveland.
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm saying I'm trying to give you scenarios that are there. Big O, this is what the Heat need to do. We always talk about how desperate times call for desperate measures. If I was Eric Spoelstra, after today's team meeting, I would say, Kevin Love, we tried. God bless you. Maybe you'll be a Hall of Famer one day. I need to start Caleb Martin again and get that energy back in my starting unit. Gabe Vincent, you're a hell of a story. And good luck in free agency. But Kyle's played enough games back. I need to get him back in my starting lineup. Big O, what I would like to see is this. For these final 7 games, go back to your best starting lineup. Go back to Bam and to Caleb and to Jimmy and to Tyler and to Kyle. And at least see with your preferred 5 where you can wind up. There's no time left.
Didn't you watch the beginning of the year? Didn't you watch the beginning of the year? What made them?
I watched how they got it turned around closer to the All-Star break before that 5-game losing streak coming out of the All-Star break. So I think you just take your shot. I think what you have to do, Big O, is at least give it your best shot. I think that's what they have to do.
You keep reaching. You keep trying. You're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Seriously,
I'm trying to take
this is who they are, Ira. There's nothing else. You have a guy that knows more about basketball than you and I combined in Eric Spoelstra. He's tried every freaking combination. He's been forced to try every freaking combination with all the other injuries too and everything that's gone on. And the results are all the same. You're still mediocre no matter what you do out there because it's a mediocre team. It's what they are.
But again, it's all relative to the standings. They have the 10th best record in the NBA, and they have a chance for a direct line into the playoffs. So, look, you and I, the beauty of our Acura Pembroke Pines reports twice a week on Monday and Friday, we can debate this into May and June, July, see out in Summer League. But at this moment in time, there still is hope. So at this moment in time, I still think you keep the hope alive. Matter of fact, Big O, I would put it this way. I am leaving later today for Toronto. So they're playing Toronto on Tuesday, in New York on Wednesday. We will know a hell of a lot more about this.
You know, you say this every week, right?
Right.
These games, we're going to know a lot more about it. And we're going to know a lot more about it. And it's the same shit we know about them. They ain't shit.
Okay, and Big O, and what if
middling team?
And what if they win? I'm not saying they're going to, but Toronto's among the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. And then you have the Knicks. Winning in the Garden is hard, even if FAU can do it. It's hard. So I'm saying, but if, and you know what the beauty of it is I
So
get
what you're
assaulted.
saying is we need John L. Davis on
We
Wednesday.
need, or Dusty May's Magic to be left there, whatever. But the beauty,
Thursday we're in New York. Thursday,
right.
John L. Davis. Okay.
Right. But the beauty of the Acura Pembroke Pines reports is I not only can get assaulted on Monday, but you're going to have free reign on Friday as well, depending on what happens in Toronto and New York. So I say let it play out. Look, is this the season that was envisioned for the Heat? Absolutely not.
No.
Are there performances for the Heat that have underachieved? Absolutely yes. But is there still a path, a small path, a path better than when you buy your lottery ticket at the bodega today? Yes, there is. Is there a chance better than some of your playing around with your cryptocurrency? Maybe. So that's what we'll see.
No shot. No shot.
There's still a chance.
No shot. No shot.
I think the Heat are still selling for more than a penny. So we'll see.
No shot. The U.S. dollar is crumbling and Bitcoin is strong as hell. So, yeah, no shot, baby. Crypto is the way. Bitcoin is the way right here. That's the money play right there. But, everybody else will. Now, give me some light at the end of the tunnel. Have you heard anything in the building? Have they said we got to blow this shit up at the end of the year? Because that's really what I want to hear. We got to do everything we can to blow this entire thing up. Because that's exactly what they need to do. They need to start all over again.
I know everyone wants the instant gratification, but this is not a team that is weighing the lottery so that we have to lose all of a sudden and get bad pushback there. They're beyond that.
No, I'm talking about just in the offseason.
Yes.
Let's go.
But you don't have to say that or think that or decide that now. You can see how it plays out. Look, Big O, if they're in the play-in, their regular season ends April 9th, home against Orlando. The first play-in game is April 11th. It looks like it'll be Heat hosting Toronto now. If the Heat lose that, they play April 14th against the winner, probably of Chicago, Atlanta. If they lose that, then you say, whoa, we ain't in the playoffs. We got to sweep this aside. But if they are in the playoffs, then you say, let's see what happens in the first round. You let it play out to its conclusion because teams have come from behind in the NBA. Not often. This is not the NCAA. This is not one game, FAU, you keep going. You've got to win a quality best-of-7 series. But there's time for that. There's time. You can't trade your impending free agents. You have time before the draft. The Heat do have a draft choice. You have plenty of time for then. You don't need to have that thought entering your building right now, or at least I don't think so.
Oh, all right. Mavs lose again last night, sir. They lose 110-104 to the Hornets. And Kyrie Irving, again, he's injured. He's dealing with a right foot injury playing. He had 18 points last night. Doncic had 40. He's not having fun anymore since the trade. Not saying that they both played in every game, but since the Kyrie Irving trade, they are 7-13 and have lost 4 in a row. Why would you bring back Kyrie Irving just to justify the trade if you're Mark Cuban?
No, as a matter of fact, there's a really good story at the Ringer today saying Dallas should tank the rest of the way because if their pick is not top 10, it goes to the New York Knicks going way back to the Porzingis trade. So they have a decision to make. And Big O, that's important for the Heat because the Heat play the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday. So will Dallas come in to play hard or will they tank? Question 2 is, and this was more of an issue when Goran Dragic was here, but there's a lot of people who say, like a lot of players, Luka Doncic likes Miami and they can do right by him. Now, he's under contract through 2025. So that's not happening anytime soon. But Big O, you know how it works in sports. It used to be, unless you had an expiring contract, you had no leverage. Now NBA players, Paul George, 2 years before his deal was done with the Pacers, he forced his way out first to Oklahoma City, now to the Clippers. I would keep an eye on Luka Doncic. Number one, the Mavericks have to do everything they can to surround him with talent. Or number 2, they have to decide when they need to cut bait and get something back in return and restock their draft choices. So you sit back and you wonder how that's going to play out with Doncic. Look, for as bad as you might have thought the Heat letting PJ Tucker go or not going to the tax, however you want to phrase it this offseason, there is no worse move in the NBA than the Dallas Mavericks allowing Jalen Brunson to leave for nothing. Because right now, Jalen Brunson is a better NBA player than Kyrie Irving. They blew it. So if you're
No,
Luka Doncic,
and the Kyrie Irving trade also made you a lesser of a team, actually, because you gave away pieces that gave you more balance to your team and
yes,
more support for Doncic. Actually, to be quite
yes,
honest, now
yes.
you've got you. Did you see that box score? Like no one else scored.
They
It's
don't have
just those
anyone.
two,
They have a G League
right,
team around them. When they gave up Dorian Finney-Smith and they
right,
let Brunson walk and they let Dinwiddie go, you know what?
exactly.
Sometimes you sell your soul, and you better be careful who you're selling your soul for.
Right. And that's my point. So it's just one of those deals where you're not, God, and let me, if you, Doncic, you think, because he's not a Heat player. He's not. He
I know
doesn't
what you're
take
going to
care.
say.
I know. I get he's a freakish talent. I get
Yes.
the skill set is sick. But Jesus Christ, we're talking about Brian Big Country Reeves Jr.
No,
here.
no,
He
no,
doesn't,
no, no.
he looks
No,
like
we're
me,
talking about
bro.
an MVP level player
I get
who
it.
you
I
can get
get
into
it.
shape,
This will
and you
not
will
age well. This
and
will
you
not
will
age well.
and you will design a defense. I think he's a remarkable talent. Look,
He is.
Big O, until this struggle, he was mentioned as guaranteed top 5 on MVP ballots. Now the record's going to
Definitely.
change that. You know what?
Definitely. But
That's a,
he can't keep eating. He's going to eat his way out of his career, dude.
I don't
You
think so. I
can't
don't think
keep.
it's that bad. I don't
Oh,
think it's that bad. Sorry.
do you
Disagree.
watch him?
I
He's
do
fat
watch
and
him.
slow. He's so skilled. He can play the slow man game like Adrian Dantley. I get it, dude. I totally
I
understand that.
think he's defensively indifferent, and it looks that way. And I think with the right coaching and the right motivation, it could change. Look, if you're asking me, do I want him on my team? Hell
Oh
yeah, I want
yeah,
him on my team. Yes.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's funny because he is not really a Heat player the way he takes care of his body. It's just funny like that.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, of course, because it worked with Kyle Lowry. Yeah. No, of course. Yeah.
I
No.
don't think Luka Doncic just turned 37. I might be
Just
wrong.
lately, this is the kind of shit that's been going on, and this is why the wheels have fallen off.
Yeah,
Because you settle for a white,
I'll risk my wheels for Luka Doncic.
you
Sorry.
settle for Whiteside, and he's a bum ass, and you give him all that money. You sign Dion Waiters knowing he needs foot surgery. Okay.
Re-sign him,
Lowry
right.
was
Mhm.
old and overweight, and it's been, a mess. And I love Doncic, the player, but he has a characteristic that is certainly not Heat quality because he doesn't take care of his body, which if this continues in this way, it's going to cause injuries for him down the line. It's only the inevitable, dude, because that's just the way it is if you don't take care of your body. It's just weird that if you start looking at the last 10 years of the Heat, they have done a lot of things that they normally never used to do. And that's all,
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna look at the last 10 years of the Heat and say 3 of the last 4 years in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's all.
I'm gonna say that you have a chef that is the best chef in the NBA, and that's why you're that good. He makes you look better than what you really are. That's why you get 31-10 with the bums, and you bring them back, and you got fooled. You get to the Eastern Conference last year, you got fooled. It's the same thing. It's because you have a great coach that gets more out of what they really are. And the front office keeps giving him not enough and making him have to be a master chef just to get the most out of it. Why? Because you're giving him Kyle Lowry and not Chris Bosh. You're giving him Kyle Lowry and not Anthony Mason. You got to give him a player. And that's the problem. You only gave him one in Jimmy. You've developed kind of another one in Bam. He hasn't gone all the way yet. But these are the things that where they have fallen short. All I'm saying is if you look at what's gone on the last 10 years, there's a lot of things that Riley has done that he normally would never do. That's all I'm saying. And the results are a little bit misleading because you have one of the badass coaches in the history of the NBA that just knows how to get the max out of almost anybody, dude.
Well, at Jimmy and what he's done the last 3-4 years. You got to put that in there also. One of the game's ultimate closers.
But you need more. But the day they traded for him, I said you need to go get another guy better than him, and they have failed to do that. And that's the reason why you won't win a championship, because Jimmy cannot be your best player. He has to be the number 2 guy, because in today's NBA, you need a guy that can make things happen easily in scoring. And Jimmy has to work his ass off to score because he's a blue-collar guy. He can't pull up for a 34-footer just like that. He can't do what Pac did the other night and shooting 7 of 10 from three-point range. That's not what he does. But in today's NBA, part of your greatness has to be your scoring ability, has to be something that can be game-changing quickly, and that's just not Butler's game. It's not his fault. God bless him. He has made himself, he has overachieved in his career. You know what I mean? And he is awesome in his own right, but you need somebody next to him, and they just haven't been able to ever find that guy, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Sucks.
it's just I don't disagree on that, but I don't think they're as far as you or some others might think also. And you know what?
I just think Eric Spoelstra fools us. I really do.
I just want, you know what? I want to see it play in a playoff. I might be in wholly agreement with you, Big O, in 14 days or 21 days or 28. But I'm going to wait to get to those 14, 21, or 28. And then we'll sit here, we'll sell some Acuras, and I'll come around.
Can't wait to get my electric one next year. God. Anyway, what do you got going on in the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Well, you know, I talked to Kevin Love, and he said, look, I know Cleveland's got a playoff seed. We don't, but I came here to play. I'm almost wondering if that's reaching an expiration, if Spoelstra has to say, hey, I've got to get my best guys on the court right now. So spoke to him, posted the Sun Sentinel, grew up my Ask Ira today about how the Heat are not alone in the misery index. A lot of teams are losing to a lot of bad teams. It's how the NBA is set up this season. And later, Bam Adebayo saying, hey, we've got to get going. We've got to hit the gas pedal now. I'm going to post that a little later. So you got a lot to read today, tomorrow in your paper, and I'll be back tomorrow, day earlier, because of my travel, 9 a.m. Canadian time. And I'll catch you, Kurt Heelan, on the redrecover.com Inside the Paint Show, 9 a.m., 1 week only on Tuesday this week.
There you go. Ira Winderman. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., we've got the Red Recover Inside the Paint Show. Ira, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow, my friend. Appreciate it.
Drink from a glass half full, my friend. It's not that hard. Thank you, Big O.
You got it, brother. Appreciate you. I'd love to be, well, I am when it comes to Eric Spoelstra. I'm not when it comes to Pat Riley and Mickey Harrison. Sorry. I just, I got to look at it the way I see it, man. I just think Eric Spoelstra is a freaking badass, and he fools us, and he gets the max out of it, and then we think we're better than what we really are. And no, it's just that dude there that's coaching them. It's like Larinaga. Would the UM program be as good with another coach? Hell freaking no, bro. But Jim Larinaga is an ultimate difference maker, and to me, Eric Spoelstra is an ultimate difference maker. He just is. And unfortunately, the front office and the ownership group, they have fallen down a notch or two. Okay, I'm not saying to get rid of them. I'm not saying Riley to step down. I'm not saying that the Harrison family should sell. None of that. All I'm saying is, gents, you're not as good lately. And that can be said. Nobody's above only Nico Toscani is above the law. Okay? Pat Riley is not above the law. No coach is above the law. No general manager is above the law. No team president. No owners above the law. Only Nico Toscani is above the law. That's it. I'm sorry. The only guy that's holding up his end of the deal out of the trifecta is Eric freaking Spoelstra. He's the only one that is truly doing his job at an incredibly high level. The other two guys have got to pick it up. Okay? And they've got to stop settling, and they've got to stop letting desperation set in, because that's what's happened to Riley. He's using father time, and desperation are forcing him to make really bad decisions. Anybody that gives Dion Waiters a 4-year contract knowing he needs foot surgery is out of his mind. I love you, Pat, but I don't know what the hell made you give that guy a contract. That guy was never reliable. And you're going to give him a 4-year contract knowing he needs ankle surgery? No, dude. No. You sign a 1-year deal, chump. Here it is. Minor deal. And when you come back from your ankle surgery and you prove you can play, then I'll give you the money. You gave him the money for 29 games that he played, him and Dragon, out of your mind. Hassan Whiteside, out of your mind to give that guy $100 million. Kyle Lowry, out of your mind to give that guy 85, 90 million, whatever it was for 3 years. And none of this is hindsight. All of this I said before it ever happened. I was never on any of those deals. There's been too much shit that's gone on. Danny Granger and Bob and drafting. You're drafting a player to make LeBron happy? What the? Who is that, bro? That's not Pat Riley. That's just not Pat Riley. I'm going to draft Shabazz Napier to make you happy? No, bro, you draft whoever the hell you think you're supposed to draft. Not what LeBron wants, and he still screwed you over. There's a lot of shit that's gone on the last 10 years since the Big Three, and they're not as sharp in the front office and in ownership. Those are the facts, dude. The problem is you blindly lean on, whoa, Eastern Conference trip to the finals, in the bubble, this, that. That's Eric Spoelstra. Getting the max out of teams. But that's not because the teams were great. When they're great, they're like the Big Three. They can come back and come back and come back. When you're not that great, you get to a certain point and then you come back down again. And that's what's happened. I love the Heat organization. They are the best organization by miles in this town. It's not even close. The Arison family is tops, number one by miles. Pat Riley is God, number one by miles. But we have to be honest. They have not brought their A game for several years now. And they need to look in the mirror. And they need to go back to the Heat ways. Because the Heat ways are the ways that get you to the championship. When you decided to part ways with Mike Miller, yeah, you pissed off LeBron, but it was the right move at that time. Do what you think is right for the team, period. Everything else will work out. But if you start to give in to the players, and I get it that they're getting more power and all, I'm sorry. It doesn't help you. How's it helping for Mark Cuban? Oh, let me go get Kyrie Irving. Let me go get the name. No, dude, it's not about the name. Get the right character. Get the right temperament. Get the right attitude. Get the right professional. They have dropped the ball on many things, and I've pointed them out over and over again. You know, and I love Ira, but he keeps moving the goalpost every single, oh, well, we'll find out this week, and we'll find out this week, and we'll find out this week, and no, we've already found out who the hell these guys are. And they're a middling team. They're nothing special. They prove it to us every single night. That's your Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.